So let us invite our last presenter from Tata Power Company, Jojobera Jamshedpur. DFM Catalyst Firing Industrial Innovation and Technological Solution for Business Sustainability. Yeah.
Good afternoon all. Myself Sandeep Patnaik from Tata Power Jamshedpur division. And the topic I want to present today is DFM, a clean coal technology. So first of all, what is DFM? MTL Tech's DFM is a clean coal technology, represents a new enhancement to the combustion process to show an economical way to reduce coal consumption by around 5 to 10%, and with the reduction in coal consumption, the second and foremost important thing is the reduction in emissions, environmental emissions. It will not only reduce the coal consumption but also will reduce the environmental emissions. And the other benefits will be like reduction in coal means less coal consumption, that means less transport of coal cost, and second is reduction of S generation. Less coal will be consumed means less S will be generated, so S handling cost will be less, and as I said, emissions will be reduced and the maintenance cost will be reduced. So the next thing is how it works, how DFM works. So the working principle, basically the coal we fire, every type of coal has traces of radionuclide. All the fossil fuel, not only coal, even all the fossil fuel have traces of radionuclide. That we normally don't realize, but it is already there. So the radionuclide like uranium-238, thorium-232, radium-224, they are already present in the coal, and they do some fission reactions in the furnace, and we don't realize those things, and they produce a little bit of energy. So what the catalyst does, in the primary reaction, these radionuclides generate alpha particles. As we know, it is a natural process that radionuclides generate alpha particles. The alpha particles generated from this radionuclide, the alpha particles generated from radionuclide, they collide with the hydrogen and nitrogen molecules present in the coal and the furnace. They collide with them and they generate protons and some energy. These are exothermic reactions, and these naturally occur in all the furnace. Now comes the role of the catalyst in the secondary reaction. In the secondary reaction, the protons generated in the primary reactions collide with the catalyst molecule, and due to that collision, two alpha particles generate from each catalyst molecule, and these are all exothermic reactions. And these alpha particles again collide with hydrogen and nitrogen molecules like the primary reaction, and from them more protons generate, and those protons can collide with more catalyst particles present in the furnace. So a chain reaction will take place until and unless the furnace is exhausted with catalyst molecules. If there is catalyst molecule available, then this reaction will go on like a chain reaction, and in every step some energy will be produced, as these are exothermic reactions. So basically the MTL Tech, which is the company, a US-based company which developed the catalyst, actually they didn't have the experience of firing it in any coal-fired unit, boiler. So what they had done, they had only the experience of model-based trials in some reputed universities in North and South America. So, and the practical use of the catalyst was only done in diesel generators. They have the experience of firing it in diesel generators. So they shared all the information regarding the model-based trial and the diesel generator, the practical diesel generator output. They everything shared with the Tata Power Jamshedpur team, and we analyzed all the data. We had meetings with the expert team of MTL Tech and our Tata Power team, and we also included it in the project the engineering team of Tata Power there, because we required some expert advice on the chemical reactions, whether any nuclear fission reaction may happen. That was the main question. The first question came to our mind, that any adverse impact may come out from the trial. So we had discussions with experts from inside and outside Tata Power, and after thorough discussion and all types of thorough analysis, we came to the conclusion that no, this process doesn't have any adverse impact, because the catalyst molecules, they are not radioactive molecules. They are not unstable molecules. They are stable particles. They only react when a proton is getting collided, just like hydrogen and nitrogen molecules. When hydrogen and nitrogen molecules are getting collided with alpha particles, they are changing its form. Just similarly, the catalyst molecule will only react in presence of an external source of energy. So these are not unstable molecules. So no probability of any nuclear fission reactions like things. So the safety concern, which was the first concern, that was ruled out. And next question was whether it will be actually effective in a live furnace, live boiler. So the pilot project was taken for trial of the catalyst in the month of February. The first issue was when and how to dose the catalyst, because the dosing process, it will have impact in the overall reaction. So, after brainstorming, 3 ideas came out. First one is dosing the catalyst on the feeder belt. The second one is dosing the catalyst on the conveyor belt, which is feeding the coal to the coal bunkers. And the third one is directly dosing the catalyst into the live furnace. So after a thorough discussion, we finally came out to the conclusion that if the catalyst will be fed directly to the boiler, then it will have maximum effect, and we can get a maximum output. So although it has some initially we had some doubt about we have flame scanners in the furnace, so whether it can impact any means a foggy thing type of things can happen in front of flame scanners. If that happens, then the boiler will trip because of interlocks. So then as the volume of the solution was very less as compared to the overall furnace capacity, so finally we decided that we can dose it directly to the furnace and it will not impact the overall flame condition and mainly in front of the flame scanners. So first phase of trial was started, and for that actually in Jamshedpur division, what we are doing, we are firing around 8 to 10 types of coal. We are doing coal blending. In a particular unit also, we have five units, coal-fired units. In a particular unit, we are firing 4 types of coal in 4 different elevations. So the coal blending, in case of coal blending, analyzing parameters, the reduction will not be easy. Means it will be tedious work. So and it will not be conclusive. also. So what we did, we decided to fire a single coal for that period, for that trial and the baseline period. The baseline period where the data was collected for comparison and then trial was started. And throughout the overall trial and baseline period, the generation was kept at a constant level, and we took care other parameters like condenser vacuum, MS temperature, MS pressure, mainstream temperature and pressure, what I will say. Those are the parameters which can impact the specific coal consumption. So we took care that these parameters remain almost at the same level like the baseline, and we took 24-hour average data for comparison. Then the dosing was starting from 200 ml to 1 liter per minute at different steps. On the first day, we dosed only 200 to 250 ml of the catalyst per minute. The catalyst was dosed into the furnace through a single peephole. And for this dosing, the whole setup was designed and developed by Tata Power Jamshedpur division with our in-house expertise. And we fired around 200 to 250 ml per minute on the first day through a single peephole from one corner of the furnace at the lowest elevation. And on the second day we increased it to 800 milliliter per minute, and on the third day to 1 liter per minute, and on the fourth day we did some improvisation, like we used another peephole from the opposite corner, keeping the dosing rate constant, 1 liter per minute, keeping the dosing rate 1 liter per minute. We dosed it from the two different corners. And on the final day, here actually the picture is not clearly visible because of light. Here we can see the specific coal consumption, the greener part. The specific coal consumption reduced for the same generation. The specific coal consumption reduced. Although initially the baseline period it was on the higher side, and during the trial period it reduced. And yeah, here we can see on the fourth day gradually the reduction in specific coal consumption was, it is in percentage, it was gradually the reduction was increasing, and on the day 4 it was 3.7% in the phase 1 trial. And after analyzing this data, the management also got some confidence that yes, this catalyst can work in our system, in our boiler effectively. So a second phase trial was planned for a longer period, and for that we went for more improvisation. Like in the second phase trial, we used 4 nozzles at 4 corners of the same elevation, and the dosing rate was increased from 1 liter per minute to 1.2 liter per minute, and it was continued for 1 month. These are the pictures how the dosing was done, the nozzles, the solution preparation, the whole setup was developed by Tata Power Jamshedpur team only. And then the phase 2 trial was started. The baseline data was collected from first to third mile for 48 hours, and from third mile dosing was done at 1.2 liter per minute in heavy elevation 4 corners, and catalyst dosing was finally stopped on 25th May. The single coal was fired throughout the period, and daily basis of coal sampling from individual feeders to find the reduction in heat rate. Not only coal consumption is 1 point, specific coal consumption is 1 point. Second important thing is heat rate, because if GCV varies, if coal GCV varies, because we have experienced that in a single rate coal, even the GCV can vary at multiple points. So if GCV varies, naturally the specific coal consumption will vary. So to counter that thing, we also did the heat rate analysis. So we collected the samples, coal samples from individual feeders, and accordingly the weighted average was found, and then the baseline heat rate was calculated, and on daily basis heat rate was calculated during the trial period. So here we can see the results. The red one is the heat rate reduction, percentage of heat rate reduction, and the green one is the percentage of SCC reduction, specific coal consumption reduction. We can see the average was around 5 to 5.5%. Although in some points a dip can be observed. The main reason was that during these two times the unit tripped because of we have some issue with the turbine vibration. So due to that turbine vibration, unit tripped and the dosing was stopped. For around half of the day the dosing was stopped, and one time there was some issue with the pump delivery. The dosing rate which was 1.2 liter per minute reduced to around 700 to 800 milliliter due to that issue, and later it was rectified, and then it increased to 5 to 5.5%. And here we can see a spike of around 8 to 8.5% in reduction in specific coal consumption as well as heat rate, and that happened when we reduced our generation from 58 megawatt to 50 megawatt, keeping the dosing rate constant. Keeping the dosing rate at 1.2 liter per minute, we reduced the generation. And when we reduced the generation, we saw the specific coal consumption reduction percentage was comparatively higher. Then finally we concluded that with this setup and this dosing rate, the average reduction in heat rate and specific coal consumption was around 4 to 5%, and with this saving only, in our unit 1, which is a 67.5 megawatt unit only, there we can have a annual saving of around 6.3 crore at 80% PLF. And if we go for the station generation, which is around 11 million units per day, we will get around 45 to 50 crores of annual saving per year with this catalyst dosing. And so the phase 3 trial has been planned, which is a confirmatory trial only, where we will do some more improvisation, like we will go for another elevation, another 4 corners of nozzle firing, and the dosing rate will be increased from 1.2 to 1.5. And after that, already all these data, this information data are being continuously shared with the senior leadership team of Tata Power, and regular follow-up and feedbacks are going on, and the senior team is going to decide for the implementation of this, the final implementation of the catalyst dosing in Jojobera, all the units of Jojobera after the phase 3 trial, and accordingly a horizontal deployment in other units also, other divisions is being planned for future, for our way forward. So we can summarize, this is the last slide. Here we can summarize the whole trial. Although the catalyst was developed by the MTL team, which is a US based team, the whole planning and the implementation was done by Tata Power Jamshedpur team. So we can say it's a collaborative approach, collaborative initiative, and it's a groundbreaking technology which is applicable to every coal-fired unit. and with this type of project we can reduce the coal consumption of the nation in thermal power plant based on coal plants around 5 to 10%. So and at the same time the harmful emissions like SPM, SOx, NOx, CO2 are going to come down. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Before I ask the audience for questions, I want to clarify myself first. First of all, I found it highly innovative project because so far we are knowing about coal-based thermal power plant. We never imagined that even radioactive materials are also present in coal, and those radioactive materials also can be used to bring down the Pacific coal consumption. So that is something great, right? So that means coal-based thermal power plant as well as nuclear power plant are combined together. It looks like, right? So first of all, I will ask first question to you is it the first time in India such thing is happening, or you are the pioneer in that?
Yes, sir.
You are the
We are actually pioneer not only in India but in world. Actually, this technology is first time has been applied in any thermal coal-based power plant. Initially, it was only tried in diesel generators.
So why don't you take a patent for this?
Yes, it's correct, sir. As I said in the last slide, the collaborative approach that I have mentioned there, collaborative innovation. So we are going for that. We are having discussions with the MTL Tech team for a collaborative innovation patent.
See, my questions, these are not my questions, these are my observations only. See, you are using 8 type of coal. And which type radioactive material is more? It is Indian coal or imported coal?
Actually, sir, we tried to get out that data.
Yeah.
No one have the that type of means analysis available to give you that data which type of coal is more radionuclides.
So you have given 2 things. One is specific coal consumption, one is heat rate improvement.
Yes.
But you have never mentioned what is the cost of the catalyst.
Yes.
But without mentioning the cost of the catalyst, how you can say that you have saved this much money?
Yes, sir. That is I am just to that point. The cost I have shown is the cost of coal.
Yeah.
And obviously that is the fossil fuel, so it's important. And from catalyst cost point of view, actually the decisions on the cost of the catalyst is being under discussion phase with the MTL Tech team, with Tata Power team, and the break-even point is around 3%.
Okay,
So
fine. I am not in authority. See, basically,
So-
what I will tell you is your entry came at the very last moment.
Yeah.
So none of us and none of the judges also could go through it completely. I do not know whether you could get time to complete it. Okay, no, because I have not gone through it at all. The reason is it came very late. Okay, fine. Now now is open to the audience. You can ask any questions to them, especially the coal-eared persons. Yeah, mic is there.
Sir, I have only one question that this kind of innovation whenever we are doing, so we need to take any approval for that because it comes under regulatory business. So any approval is required, or how much quantity we can fire and all? Is there any limitation and all? So that's only my queries.
yeah, thank you for asking this question. Actually, Jamshedpur Tata Power division is on the concept of captive. The units, all the units of Tata Power, they fed only to Tata Steel, and Tata Steel have a distribution license.
Only unit number 5. Rest all.
Sir, unit number 5 is IL unit, but that is also a captive unit. All the units are feeding to Tata Steel, and under IL concept we have unit number 5. So that in captive units, basically the approval is required from the customer, and Tata Steel is very much eager to implement this project as early as possible because they are seeing some financial gain. So they are means after Tata Power, the most excited team is the Tata Steel team, and they have means they have already means like a go sign They have provided a go sign. We can implement it anytime. They are agreeing to our all types of terms and conditions.
So what safety precautions you have taken? Because you are dealing with the nuclear, right? Nuclear power.
Yeah. That as I have already initially mentioned, I have already initially mentioned this in my presentation that the first question that came to our mind was safety. So we had a discussion with the in-house expertise of Tata Power. Across Tata Power, we also included it in this project, the engineering team of Tata Power. And we had discussions with external and internal experts, chemical experts, environmental experts, and as well as with the experts of MTL Tech team, because they have developed this. They are chemical experts, and they are firing this catalyst in diesel generator in a country like US, which has more stringent laws than India. So they have also got the clearance from their government. So they shared all the documents, the information with us, and after going through all this, we have finally decided to implement this.
Fine, there is a question.
Yeah, Prashant. Actually, see, I don't know much about this technology and chemistry.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, but you told this is used for diesel generators or diesel power consumption reduction in USA. But how this kind of chemical will react with coal and other, chemicals? Whether that study is being conducted or not, that is first question. Another thing, see, we are using propane and LPG gas and natural gas probably in the coming days for our fuel aspects for heating purpose. So any kind of catalytic approach can reduce our consumption, and the effectiveness and efficiency of the burner can be improved, so that a saving aspect can be done. So these two questions then.
Thank you so much. First question was about the use of the catalyst in the coal fired. How that idea? Actually, they had, as I earlier had mentioned, they had trial in lab-based models in some reputed universities in North and South America. Those models were coal-based models. So they had only the experience of those lab-based models, and they shared with us those the trial reports of those model trials. And along with the model trial report, they also shared with us the diesel generator trial report. So, already they had some trial data, but that was only in a model based in a lab only. In a live boiler, it had never been happened earlier. And from the model based, even if it is 1 gram of coal or 1 ton of coal, the effect will indicate what is going on or what will happen. So from the model output, the data from the model trials, we got the confidence that yes, we can try it in our boiler also. So initial trial was, that's why only initial trial was planned only for 4 days to see actually. As sir earlier questioned about the amount of radioactive nuclei in imported coal and in Indian coal. That was also our doubt, that whether they did the trial in lab-based model with American coal. So we are firing Indian coal. Whether this catalyst will be that much effective in our coal also, that to find that means to come out to that conclusion, we planned the initial trial only for 4 days, and after getting the results, we got the confidence that yes, it can work in our boiler also. That's why in the second phase we tried went for around a month, And I think second question was just
CNG LNG.
yeah.
Propane LPG.
Yes, as I earlier I mentioned that in all type of fossil fuel there is traces of radionuclide. So whatever it is, natural gas or any means LPG or petrol, diesel or coal, in everything you can find the traces. So yes, I am sure it will also work in LPG.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much. So I will get the opportunity because I have around half an hour. Any question? No. Okay. Thank you. So clap for him.